Right. Well,
Just we can wait for the 2 more minutes. Other others also join. Okay. So hi team, very good morning. So today we are going to start about LVM. Okay. So anyone having any knowledge on the LVM? Like Kiran and Rohit. I think Rohit I already have a knowledge on that one, right? Okay. Let me start with the things. Let me share my screen. So the concept of the LVM, first of all, we need to understand what is the basic fundamental of aspect. So let me hear LVM is nothing but logical volume manager. Okay, the terminology LVM defined logical volume manager. So before going to the LVM, first we need to understand whatever we know. For example, we everyone are Windows users, nothing but by default we are using the Windows mechanism. Okay, so that is the reason I'm comparing with the Windows, how the Windows architecture will be there, how we are giving the name convention over there, how we are using the technology over there. And in the same way, parallelly, we can compare with the Linux also. The way how we are comparing with the Linux. So, because whatever we know, that is always a better to compare and learn the new things. So first of all, LVM is a one type of the file system. Nothing but how C drive is there, D drive is there, E drive is there into the Windows. In the same way, LVM is also one type of the file system, or in general term, Windows terminology, we are calling as a drive. So this is also one kind of the drive mechanism. So first of all, when you go into the Windows, first we'll go to the Windows. So Windows, at the time of installing the operating system, okay, we are installing, by default, we are installing the C drive based on user need. Okay, based on the particular user need, we are going to install D drive, E drive, or whatever it may be. So based on the need, we are going to be install the things accordingly. So here, one thing we need to be keep in mind here. So C drive is nothing but default operating system, which is under the control of operating system. C drive, for example, Windows, C drive we are using for the purpose of all the configuration purpose. And by default, operating system related all the configuration information, architecture level information, system level information, which are need to be taken care by the operating system. Everything will be under the C drive only. So here, what exactly the major thing we need to be understand means, one is that user defined file system, okay, and system defined file system. So there is a two types of the things will be there by default. System default file system is a nothing but like a C drive. So it is something like a C drive. Okay, so C drive is a mandatory. Nothing but when you are installing the Windows operating system, okay, whether you are installing or creating the D drive, E drive, F drive, whatever it may be, okay, that is happening or not, that is a secondary. But one of the C drive operating system by default it's supposed to be create. That is the mandatory. Why means the entire architecture will be going to be by default loading into the particular thing. Means once you switch on the your operating system, once you switch on the your laptop, automatically it will run the entire architecture in a background and all the configuration files will be executed. From then it will going to be start the thing. So that is the reason architecture level C drive is a very important. Nothing but if any issues are happening with the C drive means entire your operating systems should be into the halt state. Nothing but it cannot be load at all. So that is the reason we are giving the more priority to the C drive. So there is a one more terminology called user defined. So user defined means most of the times in Windows mechanism also, most of the times people are creating the C drive or any one of additional drive. If need means they are going to create a multiple devices, like they are creating the partitions like a 200 GB, 100 GB, 300 GB something. They are creating the partitions, they are running the show. But the thing is that whenever they are going to be perform this type of the things, first of all, we need to be decide mentally, then we are executing. That is the one case. Secondary case, as per the demand also, we are expanding. For example, let it be I decided 200 GB of D drive. So 200 GB of D drive is enough. So later on, let it be I'm supporting for the Netflix client, or let it be I'm using for my personal purpose. I'm keep on storing the data. One at the moment, all my file system is occupied. 98% it is occupied. Means I don't have the space to full the data. So then what I'm going to do it, I have two options. One is that extend existing file system. Secondary thing is that or move the data to backup place. Whether I need to move some of the older data to the backup place so I can free up the space. That is a one. Another thing is that I can extend the file system also. I can extend the file system also. That is another thing. So in the both cases, what exactly we are going to define means, so operational side activities, it will be going to be happen in both ends. Nothing but whether you are using for the personal purpose or business purpose, the operational activities will be same here. So let me go to the again back to the concept. So again, the LVM is a nothing but a logical volume manager. It's a something like a file systems how they are into the Windows mechanism. There is a few types of the information additionally we need to know that. If you are going to the Windows mechanism, the file system type is NTFS, FAT32, FAT. Have you any time observed that one? Especially when you are inserting your pen drive, you are trying to format, it will prompt you that. So you want to format the FAT32 or FAT, this type of the words you will be seeing on the top of the your screen. So what exactly the file system type means? Whenever you are storing the data, the architecture of storing based on the type. The type is nothing but the company will, for example, in mobiles we have an Android mobile, we have a Google mobile, nothing but a Google operating system. Okay, so every operating system is having the one type. For example, let it be Android is storing the data into the like a notepad and something, where Android nothing but Google is storing everything into the like a Word win, or it is storing into some different format. Means every operating system showing the little bit of the differences, okay, the way of storing the data. So it will give the uniqueness to the particular product. So coming to the Windows by default we are using NTFS, FAT, FAT32. These are the some of the file systems by default we are using. We don't have any right to change it anything here because we all are users only, nothing but we are downloading or we are using for our own purpose. So we are not invented anything here. Okay, someone who invented his product, I am using for the my business purpose, my personal purpose. Okay, so I'm not invented the Windows operating system, but as per the my needs, the Windows operating system would be help you out. So that is the reason what I'm going to do it. I'm going to install and I'm going to work it upon. So at the time of processing or working upon, maybe I need to follow the process, nothing but what exactly the process it is. Okay, whether these are things we need to be corrected or not. Okay, how to store the data. For example, how to open the PPT, how to store the PPT information, how to store the WinWord information, how to store the Notepad information, what are the differences are there. So these are the things being a user I need to learn. But these are the things by default it is existing into the system. So in the same way, how the Windows we have NTFS, FAT32, Linux also we are having the some of the file system categories. So what are the file system categories means? Okay, file system categories means like ext, xfs, cafs, and nfs. These are the different types of the file system categories. Okay, file system categories will be defined by the okay operating system only, but which one I need to use, that is the my condition. Simple example is that, for example, in Windows, whether you are using the permanent purpose, nothing but C drive, D drive, E drive, or whether you are using for the temporary purpose, let it be your pen drive. Both the cases, 98% of the file system is the same only. Okay, means whether you are using for the permanent purpose or whether you are using for the time being, maybe for the time being 1 week of time or 1 day of time or 1 hour of the time. The format of the file system is the same here. But the thing is that when you are dealing with a Linux operating system, it will provide you the lot of information, nothing but it will prompt you lot of different type of the file system. So this will help you a lot, especially when you are dealing with a file system. For example, cost is a matter. So when you're dealing with the Linux file system, cost is a matter. So based on the my cost, based on the things, for example, simple example is that let it be you people are using the Android mobile, or let it be some Mac OS, or let it be some advanced features. When you going to your mother or your father, okay, maybe they are using the old version of mobile. Let it be some Nokia because they don't want the high end. So their requirement is that I need to only make a calls only. I don't want to be, I'm not seeing any YouTube videos. I'm not seeing any Instagram videos. I'm not taking the much photos also. It's not needed. Whether you are giving the high-end 1 lakh mobile also, they're using for the same purpose. Means the purpose of the user is when we clear. So based on that, we are placing the our efforts. Means she, whenever he or she looking for the basic needs, nothing but okay, I need a only mobile just for the making the calls or just to speak the persons, or if any information came from the bank or something, any kind of need for OTP purpose, just I need a mobile. I'm not using for the any extended purpose. So here the purpose is very need and minimal and very clarity. Okay, means they know do's and don'ts of what exactly need to do. So in this situation, so what you are going to do it? Okay, as per the need, you are judging the infrastructure. Means okay, they are okay to go with some 2000, 3000 phone or some 5000 phone. Means this is the more than enough as per their need. Means whatever the need they have, this will be going to be matched. So you are going to buy a one basic fundamental mobile or little bit of higher mobile within a 5000 or something you are giving to them, they are using. Let it be that's the same case, your brother or something, he's a studying. Now his requirement is that let it be he's doing some photo shoots or he's taking the some kind of the project work. In this process, he needs some sort of additional things, nothing but little bit of clarity mobile, noise voice, okay, and speed. Okay, there is a lot of additional things he's expecting. So in this moment, your budget also changes, right? So when you're going with your father and mother, maybe probably that is wind up with the 5,000. Right now, it is going to them probably some 30,000 because both of the situations are okay. Means the requirement is changing here. When compared to the Windows, now we are going to the technology side. Now, being a Windows user, you are using for temporarily, you are using for the permanently, or whatever is your need. Okay, I decided that this is the one you are going to get it. Something like a government schemes means whether you are not using or you are using, we are providing Android mobile only. Okay, means it will be cost side, infrastructure side, it will going to be wastage of infrastructure. So your mother or father, they are not using Android mobile that much. They are using for only still now also they are using for the phone call only. Means one Android mobile let it be some 20,000, but their need will be completing some 3,000, 5,000. Means the rest of the amount 15,000 is a infrastructure loss. That is we are calling as a infrastructure loss. So companies are spending the billions of the amount to avoid this infrastructure loss. So that is the reason we have a multiple technologies like a VMware, cloud, Kubernetes, Dockers. Okay, so there is a lot of application APIs also there because to avoid the infrastructure loss and moreover to gain the more of information, nothing but how extent we can use it. But when coming to the Linux here, so based on my need, whether I'm using for the data for temporary purpose, means let it be my pen drive I'm using for the one hour, or let it be there is some migration activity is there my project. So this weekend, my requirement is that I'm going to create a one drive. Let it be like a D drive, C drive, D drive, something I'm creating, some 20 GB. So whoever using the users, they want to place the data, like their configuration files, their data. From there, they can do the installation. Means for the copying into the server, I created the one folder, I shared to them. So this is the way of thing here. So when you're coming to the nature of the work here, the cost also will going to be matter here. So EXT, XFS, CAFS, NTF, these are the things basically coming from the operating system level versions. For example, we are having a Linux. 6 version before, 6 after. 6 version before. Right now, we people are using the 9 version and 8 version into the production. Okay, 6 version before, nothing but before the 6 version. Okay, we are storing the data and we are managing up to some extent. From 7 version and all, we are not only using the operating system normally, we are using for the technology level, advanced like Kubernetes, Dockers. Means in real-time example, let it be 6 version is something like a your Nokia mobile touch. Means earlier you are using for the purpose of only basic fundamentals. 7 version and all you are using for advanced purpose. Means it will be having the Android. It will be consisting of like a video callings, videos, capturing and installing WhatsApp, Facebook. Means lot of the additional feature will be going to be enhanced from the 7 onwards. So here, one thing what we need to know here is that, okay, 7 and all, 7, 8, 9, whatever the version it is coming, everything it is supporting latest virtualizations, supporting the virtualizations and advanced features of like artificial intelligence, Kubernetes, Dockers, means architectural level changes. So architectural level, there is a lot of the changes are happening into the 7 version and all from 7 version. So that is the reason RHEL6, we are majorly here your operating system version also 2.x. So how you can find, for example, uname -r. If you can see that here, the operating system here, whatever I'm holding, is a 9.4 version. Okay. So the name of the operating system is Oracle Linux Server. Okay. So here the version is that 9.4. Okay. So that is the reason the kernel, whatever I received is the 5x, 5.x. So if you are going with a 6x version, nothing but operating system 6x version, 6 and 6 before, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 6, it will be the 2.x. So it will be listing out 2.x. From 7 onwards, it will be 3.x. From 9 onwards, it will be the 4.x. Means the version is something like that. It will be defining the your architecture. Okay, say most of the times interview questions also people will ask you that. So what is the current version of the operating system? So you can convey that we are having the 9 and 10, but into the production, as per the company need, we are using the like a 7 version or 8 version or 9 version. So the what is the kernel version? So if you are using the 9 version means like a 5.x. If you are using the Red Hat 5 means, sorry, Red Hat 5 means it will be the 2.x. So this is the way how we need to be conveyed. So commands is that uname -r and cat/etc OS release, or we have one more command for the Red Hat release. So Red Hat release will define you that only the fundamental information of version only. But OS release will give you the full-fledged information of your version, type, and the basic information, everything it will going to be captured. So let it be here, coming to the topic. So we are having till the Red Hat 6, we are having 2, 3, 4 version. EXT inside of EXT also, we have a different version like a 2, 3, and 4. So these are the version. So especially 3 and 4, especially 3 and 4, supporting the journaling. So what is the differences are there? Journaling is one of the major concept it is supporting. What is the journaling? Journaling is nothing but capturing of your all logs For example, let it be you have a C drive, or let it be, if you can see that here, DF5 TH. I'm having these are the my drives. So journaling is the, if you can see that here, when you type the T type, you can see that XFS, DevTFS, TMPFS is the type. So this is a particular file system slash boot. I'm using the XFS mechanism. I'm using the XFS mechanism here. So the thing is that the journaling will help you to capture the logs. Means let it be what is the current state of this particular file system. Okay, let it be once you store the data, what is the size? Once you reduce the data, what is the size? Okay, everything, who logged in, what is the status of that? Everything the journal file will be consisting of. This journal file is under the control of kernel. So going onwards, this journal file will help you a lot at the time of troubleshooting file system issues. Okay, if you can see that here, journal CTL is the command. If you can see that, simply journal CTL. So this command will give you the full-fledged information of logs of your server. Means when you logged in, what you logged in, each and everything it will going to be listed out. So right now, my requirement is that, okay, when I need to use the journaling concept, okay, it is using 3 and 4. So what is the benefit for the journaling base? Let it be we are using the command line. So whenever we are using the command line operating system, always it's a better to have a more clarity on that one. Nothing but we are not visibly, and moreover, if something is happen also for easy tracking, it's a nothing but logging of all your logs will be there in journaling. And it is under the control of your operating system. Operating system is nothing but kernel. So the kernel will be, it plays you like a bug type. So it will keep on monitoring what is the file systems are there, what it is capturing, each and everything it will be going to be captured, and it will be at the time of booting process when your server is starting. So initially we explain about the booting process. At the time of booting process, it will take you the capture. Okay, this file system is this much of size. Everything it will resync and it will repair the work also. So at the time of repairing, this journaling will help you a lot. For this journaling, the minimal and maximal amount also they are going to be captured. Nothing but, for example, we have a C drive. If the journaling is there means there is some file need to be there for the bugging purpose, right? So the bugging purpose, what it will going to do it, it will be storing inside of your server. So it will capture the some space. So maximum up to some 10 GB, some 20 GB, we can use it for the only capturing of logs. If it is increasing means it is completed means we have to expand the file system, or we need to convert the file system from the XFS to XFS or NTFS, or here or there. I mean the both the cases we can do it here. So here especially the journaling will help you a lot into the file system check. So coming classes, we are going to perform some kind of the troubleshootings. Let it be there is one file system, it is captured or it is corrupted. So on the moment of the time, how you are going to repair it? What is the process to repair it? Each and everything we are going to discuss it on it. Okay, on that time, this will help you a lot. So in the same way, if we are using the RHEL7 and words, we are using the XFS mechanism. For XFS mechanism, we can store up to 16 dB of content as a journaling only. Means you can see that much of importance it is giving for the data. Okay, so whatever the data is there, data storing is a different. But what we are thinking about storing of the data by using the file system type. By using the file system type, how the data will be storing upon. So this is the way here we are using. So in interview questions, maybe the people will ask you that, okay, so what is the current version we are using into the file system type, or what are the file system types into the Linux? So majorly we are having exe file system, okay, and XFS file system, NFS, Samba. So NFS, Samba are the store devices. Like how you people are using the drives, right? In the same way, it is we are using with the same thing. NFS is majorly using for the Unix based. Samba is we are using for the Windows based. For example, from one Windows server to Linux server, you want to capture the information. You want to share the data. Okay, then we are using like a OneDrive. How we are using the OneDrive in Windows, like a Google Drive. Okay, in the same way, the Samba and NFS are the temporary file system. It is there into the server. It will help you to capture the logs. So lsblk is one of the command. So this is about the basic information. From now, so when you are planning to execute this file system creations and all, there is some sort of information, some of commands we need to know that, because this class will be a little bit of theory only, because if you know this information, execution of the thing, it will be completed into within one class only. Okay, means we can complete one scenario at least, one day. That much of easy it is. Maximum 5 to 6 commands, we can wind up the things. But the thing is that terminology is a very important. So interviews people will ask you the first terminology, then only the command. So that is the reason. What are the generalized commands will come, and what is the simplest information, and what is the command we will use. So this will help you kind of the cheat sheet there. Okay, so we are using the one of the command called lsblk. So lsblk is the command to list the block devices. For example, if you can see that here, control C, df and th. So these are the file system. lsblk. So this lsblk will list you out what are the storage devices, means how my hard disk is divided. So right now I'm seeing the front end of application, nothing but the application which is I am able to access from the front end. How my hard disk is divided, how it is allocated into the server level. So this is the way list the block devices. So what is a block devices? So block devices are something like that. For example, you have a Windows laptop. Your hard disk is a block disk. Your hard disk is a block disk device. Means when you want to install anything, without operating system, you cannot access your hard disk. Means with operating system, how it will be, like we are creating C drive, means let it be your hard disk capacity is 1 TB. You divide it into 4 parts, let it be 50 TB, 50 TB, like that. Okay, 450s you created. Nothing but you virtually you divided your hard disk into 4 parts. Okay, once you created the 4 parts, then you are storing the data into like a D drive, E drive, F drive. Means the data storage will be happening with operating system only. With the help of operating system only, we are performing. Without operating system, we cannot access the block devices. Block devices are directly raw devices, directly your hard disk. If you want your hard disk, means again you need to use the like any operating system. So there is one more command we are having, fdisk. So fdisk is one of the command. It will list you out. So here it is not there. So fdisk is one of the command. This command will give you the full-fledged information of how your hard disk is divided into the number of parts. If you can see that here, this is the one of the drive which is 20 GB. This is the number of the bytes and this is the sectors, and it is a virtual disk. Means it will show you that the property information of your hard disk. So file system disk is nothing but it will show you the your file system level full-fledged properties. Means what is the size, what is the capacity, where it is ended, what is the type, everything it will going to be list you out here. Nothing but it will list the things. So again, there is one more command we are using, nothing but PV or PVS. So PVS is one of the command, nothing but physical volume. So there is something we need to be understand here. Okay, how the physical volume, what is the terminology physical volume? For example, I will show you that how it will be. This is your Windows operating system. Let it be your hard disk. Okay, on top of your hard disk, you are going to create a C drive, D drive, E drive, C drive, D drive, E drive. So three types of the drives created by using the operating system. Means your hard disk you divided it to three drives. So here the major thing is that Windows we are not using any kind of steps. So directly installing operating system, immediately you are dividing the file systems. So after that, without any delay, you can install the data over there. Nothing but if you want to install any softwares, if you want to copy the data, if you want to remove the data, everything we can do it very fastly here. So that is the one of the major beauty here. But the coming to the Linux operating system. So let it be, this is your hard disk. We are calling as raw device or block device. So this is the raw device or block device I created. Nothing but I have a hard disk. This hard disk I'm creating into number of parts. Let it be entire hard disk I created. This is we are calling as PV. Let it be. This is the capacity of. This is the name of PV1. Okay, 20 GB. So this is another PV. PV capacity is 50 GB. So this is another capacity PV3 40 GB. Means I divided my hard disk into three parts. But coming to the Windows, I divided and directly I'm used. But here I'm not directly using. After that, I'm creating one volume group. We are calling as volume group, VZ. So volume group is a combination of PVs, like a PV1 plus PV2. Let it be I created as a one volume group with a virtually it will become a one virtual hard disk. The combination of both I created as a one hard disk. So here it will show you that it will be directly a map to this one. So here it is only PV3. Now the requirement is that on top of that, we are creating the LV. So we are creating the LVM1. let it be 20 GB. Actually, what is the capacity of your VG? Here 20 GB plus 50 GB. It is a 70 GB. And what is the capacity of PV3? It's a 40 GB. You got a point, right? The point is, it's a very clear. It's a 70 GB. It is a 40 GB. So from 70 GB, I used only 20 GB. Okay. And in this one, I'm not created anything. Okay. So now the requirement is that, again, how the architecture will go. On top of this one, I'm creating the file system. We are creating the file system. So on top of that file system, we are creating we'll do the mount. Mount the device. So after mounting only, your file system will be listed out here like this. Means this is your hard disk. Hard disk, I converted into, I attach it to the server. Okay, like this. So it want to display here means it need to complete this many steps. Why I need to do this many steps here? So Windows, I'm not using this many steps, right? Windows, I'm taking the hard disk. I'm installing operating system. At the time of installing operating system, I created everything, nothing but C drive, D drive, it is created. Or I created the C drive, D drive, E drive. Next minute, I'm storing the data. But why I need to do this much of things into the Linux side? Linux is the one kind of the typical mechanism. Okay, here the purpose of here is that in Windows, let it be you added a new disk or Windows mechanism, your file system is full. Dynamically, you cannot expand it. If expanded also, if you have a space, you expand it also. For performance side, you have to reboot the server. Reboot is the mandatory into the Windows mechanism. So to overcome that one into the Linux side, what we done means nothing but we are not rebooting the server. For example, your C drive is full. Okay. So what you done? You attach, otherwise, you are extending C drive from the 70 GB to, let it be earlier, it is a 70 GB. From 70 GB to, you are extending to 100 GB. So once you extended, automatically you need to refresh. You need to refresh to make the changes. You need to go for the reboot. Let it be you are working on one migration activity. You are a middle of the product. You cannot go for the reboot because you are already storing the lot of data into the server. Okay, from the Oracle side, backup side. In this moment, if you are going for the reboot means you lose the data or there is a delay is going to be happen. To overcome that one, what we are doing, we are using the mechanism called PV. So here PV is nothing but it acts like your hard disk. But internally PV will be having a connectivity with your server. Okay. So what exactly we are going to do it on top of this one? We are going to create a VG. The VG is nothing but the collection of PVs. Okay, whether the collection of PVs. Just think of that. This is a one hard disk. This is a one hard disk. Let it be if we are having the 3, 4 hard disk also. On top of every hard disk, we can create a one PV and we can attach it. Means we are handling multiple hard disk at the same time, and we are creating one large virtual portion of area volume group. We are creating. On top of that, we are creating the LVM. So LVM is nothing but your file system you are creating. Then you are creating MKFS, file system type. Like I just said earlier, whether you want to create ext3 or ext4, ext5, those and all we are creating, and you are mounting the device. So this will be confusing at this moment because the terminologies are a little bit of different here. Okay, so don't worry. The entire process, if you can see that here, how many commands we need to use it to complete every activity means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 commands. Some of the times, this is also will come into the picture if you don't have the space means 5 commands we are learning this concept. So in this concept, in interview question, maximum 1 to 2 questions you will receive. Okay. So today it is a theory talk only. So that is the reason you have to be accepted. Once we enter the practical, it will become a damn easy. Okay. So now PVs. PV is the one of the command. I want to see that how many physical volumes are there into the server. Then I'm using the command called PVS. I'm using the PVS. Let it be. I want to see the how many volume groups are there into my server. I'm using PGS. And PV also we are using PV display. I need a more elaboratively, I need information. Then I'm going with a PV display. VG display is one of the command. It will display you the VG display. What are the volumes are there into my server? It will share you the property information of particular volume group. Nothing but when it is created, what is the permissions, what is the size, whether we have space or not, each and everything, what is the unique ID, nothing but identification, everything it will store you. Then LVS is a topic. LVS is a nothing but logical volume. So if you want more details, LV display. So LV display is a command. It will give you the full-fledged information of your LV. Nothing but your full-fledged information of your LV. It will going to be stored here. Then there is one more command we are using. Nothing but MKFS, right? So MKFS is one of the command we are using for the purpose of creation. So purpose of the creation we are using. And there is one more command mount. Mount -a is nothing but attach. Mount, it will give you the what are the things are mounted here. So in this process, there is one more file we need to be understand cat/etc fs tab. So this fs tab is one of the major concept. Nothing but what are the files are it is listing at the time of df-h or th, whatever it may be. If you want to make this file system available post reboot also, means for example your Windows mechanism, you created C drive, D drive, V drive. Okay. So after reboot also it need to be available means what we are doing. So at the time of creation of the operating system only, okay, we are dividing and we are attaching to the operating system. So that is a generalized mechanism. So here also, if you want to perform the same thing means we need to add a entry into the FS tab. So interview question, you will get something like this. Okay. So there is one of the file system. User mentioned that it is not available into the operating system. Okay. So for example, in operating system level, users are not available means obviously where the users will be there, cat etc fs tab. So this is the information where we are going to get the user related information. Okay. So these are the primary things we need to be understand here. So any doubts here? So it will be most of theory only. That is the reason it will tough to understand. Okay. And just I want to know that I think I haven't given access to you guys the notes, right? Today I will share you this content to the mail ID. Okay. Enter the whatever the notes is there, whatever I'm explaining here, everything it is captured here. It is into the drive. I will give the drive access to you guys. you are able to see the drive information and what are the videos also we are going to place. Everything we are going to share you the links also into the course tracker. Okay. So in this process, so there is some of the scenarios will be there. If you can go through the topic here in LVM, we have a lot of scenarios will be there. For example, this will take you approximately for minimum 3 to 4 days of the time. One scenario is that if you want to create a disk, how you are creating the disk. Okay, extending of disk. Okay, nothing but adding the two disks at the same time. Okay, how we can do the migration also. Okay, how we are using the raw data. What is the raw data? What is the purpose of that? Okay, nothing but converting whether ext3 to 4 or NFS to some information, nothing but ext4 to XFS, how we are doing the conversion, why it is a matter, what are the do's and don'ts. Okay, and not only that one, so in the reverse order also how we can do convert and what are the interview questions. So these all are we are showing practically. I will show you the practically. Okay, then we are going with the interview questions also. Okay, so these are the things from okay, so next class we are going with a one by one scenario. These all are very important. Step by step process will go. It will take you promptly minimum 3 to 4 days of the class because this is very important. At this time, we will get a lot of issues. Nothing but, for example, we are using the FSCK. So why we are using the FSCK? What is the purpose of that? And how manually we can check the FSCK? And what are the interview questions will come? That we are going to check it. And there is a kind of, okay, migration also. So there is a one kind of migration also we have to do it. How we can do the migration? With a small demo of 2 months, we can create it and we can do the migration. What is a migration? How we are performing that one? What is the purpose of that? That is also they will come up into the picture. Okay, so these are the things we are going to discuss from the next class. So by the time, please be practice. Okay, user management, that is a very mandatory. And today I'm going to share you the content information, everything. Okay, before coming to the class, please go through the notes also. Please go through the video also. Then it will be helpful for you. Okay, I'm really sorry for that. I missed to share the notes. I will share you the notes today itself. Okay. Once, if anyone not received me, just do let me know. Okay. I will collect the mail IDs and I will share it. I have the some of the mail IDs. Let me share you and it will be helpful for you. Okay. So it's all about, so it's a theory class only. Let me go to the practicals. Then you people can understand well better into the course. Nothing but what exactly we are going to explain you. Okay. Thank you all and we can meet on Monday. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.